Hey, welcome everyone to day one of the free marketing clinic. This is the first session in your money foundation, and we have in the house Coach Judith. She will walk us through the profit reality check. I will yield the floor to her. Don't forget that the introduction is already in the WhatsApp group. Click on the link to learn more about her. I will also include this link in the description. So if you're watching this afterwards, you're not in the WhatsApp group at the moment, please encourage yourself to join the WhatsApp group. So Judith, you have the floor. Welcome once again.
Thank you very much. So we're going to be talking about profit reality check. Profit reality check is an assessment to check if the sales that you made in a given period. So for this exercise for 1 month, we want to check if that volume of revenue, if that revenue was profitable for you, because it's okay to make sales. It's very okay to generate good amount of revenue, let's say in 1 month, but still be unprofitable. Because when it comes to profitability, it goes beyond sales and expenses, right? Profit is a combination of your cost, your price, the quantity you sold, your profit margin percentage, right? If we use all of this, if you bring all of this together, that's when you know if you are profitable or not. It's not just about you generated sales or revenue and it's okay. So it's to show why so many small business owners, even when we have generated sales revenue, we're still wondering why we're not profitable. It's possible that your profit margin might be very slim, or you didn't sell enough compared to the um, compared to the cost you incurred or the expenses you made, right? So this is a very basic way to check whether or not the revenue you generated in combination with what it cost you, right? So we spend money for a business, let's say in a given month, we spend money on overhead, we spend money to produce what we sell, then we make sales. It's not enough to say, oh, I made sales anyhow. It's okay. It's not okay like that. So we're going to use a simple example. Let's say a skincare producer or small scale manufacturer that is into skincare. So in the month of December, she made the sales of 3,450,000, right? This is a calculator to check. It's called profit reality check. So we want to check this revenue of 3,450,000. Was it profitable for this business owner? So now this is her revenue. And in that same month of December, her overhead was 978,000. Overhead is the money you spend on salaries, rent, utility bills, repairs, all of those money you spend there doing this is called overhead. And for a small scale producer, for um, product-based businesses, you also spend money to produce what you sell. So for this manufacturer, she spent 2,145,000 to produce what she sold. Now we're not talking about every amount she spent buying raw materials and packaging. No, the quantity of product that she sold have cost her 2,145,000 naira. And for her product, she has 4 products that she's selling. One is 12,500, and the profit that she gets from what she has calculated, the profit that she gets from this product is 4,210 naira. For her 9,000 product, She makes a profit of 3.5. And she has another 10.5. For this, she's grossing 4,000, and her last product is serum 6.5, and she gets 2.9. Right? So these are the figures we need to work out if she was profitable. Remember, before we go to the result, remember I said that profit isn't just about sales and expense. It's a combination of your cost, your price, the quantity you sold, your profit margin. They all work together to show whether or not your business is profitable. Right? Okay, so this is her result. What you can see here, number one, let me explain that this calculator is assuming, that your prices and your profit margins are correct, right? It's not a must that it must be correct, but this calculator is assuming that you have worked it out. So you remember our sales generated was 3,450,000, and in overhead and production expense she spent 978,000 and 2.145 million so to justify, this is the result. Okay, so let me explain here the selling price, we worked out the average selling price. Let's take you back. So she has 4 products, and we worked out the average selling price here. The same thing, we worked out the average profit. That is, average is a combination of these 4 products. The cost, the selling price, we added them and divided it by 4. That's how to work out average. Excuse me. And we did the same for the profit. So here in this result, it just gave us the average. So it's saying that to justify the total amount she spent, which is this overhead and production expense, so it gave us 3,123,000 to justify spending this amount. Her business should have generated sales revenue of 5,863,976 naira 90 kobo. That's what she would have generated as revenue to justify the fact that she spent this 987 and 2.1 on both overhead and production, right? And she was supposed to sell 609 items to be profitable, right? So what you're seeing here is, to stay profitable in business, for your business to run profitably, you will not just make sales and say it's okay to make sales. No. The fact that you are spending money while generating revenue, you have to cover your expenses, right? Then you make excess of your expense to be profitable. Although if you look at it, 3,123,000, that's the sum of both this and this, right? It's just slightly below the revenue generated. But you see, there is more to just extra 300 and something thousand. That will not be enough to cater to your other expenses as they fall due, right? So you are supposed to get to a certain level of revenue to say you'll be profitable. So because most times our generated revenue is just very slightly above the expenses, sometimes it's not even above it. That's the reason we will struggle in business. And why are we doing this? Right now, I'm talking for a product-based business. Why are we doing this? The objective is to help business owners know that there's a minimum level of revenue your business must generate, right? To justify the money you already spent. It's not just about selling. You have to outsell your expenses to be profitable. Not with, you spent 10,000 and you sell 12,000, You think you are profitable. You are not. You have to outsell. There's a margin there's a level you have to sell to for your business to be balanced. For instance, if the difference between your expenses and your generated revenue is just, let's say, 200,000, what if you have order to make more? Where will you get the money from? These are the reasons we keep borrowing. And what is the outcome I want us to get from this exercise? With this simple exercise, you will clearly see that you have to sell, right? So for you that will be watching this, most times our problem is we're not selling enough. Even myself that is teaching you, I need to sign up. I need more clients to sign up. Now, we hope, and myself and Coach Julian, we sincerely hope that you know that consistent marketing is what fuels daily sales. We all talk about sales. We don't talk about marketing. We need to, that's what Julian teaches us. We need to be out there speaking the right word to the right people, saying it in the right manner so that they will trust us enough to bring out their wallet and pay for whatever it is we are selling. So now that you know, we have to stop treating marketing as a luxury or a side activity. That's what we want you to get. That is what I also learned too. I have to stop treating marketing as one thing because I am in the chat group of, oh, marketing is very hard, but there's no way I will sell if I don't market myself. Fabulous. I know you are with me. So we will go back and simply talk about a service-based business. Now for service-based business, I will delete all of this. So for a service-based businesses, most of them, like what Fabulous Julian does, they don't have production cost or expenses, right? What we produce, what we offer, you can't touch it. So we don't spend money on production. Although there can be service-based businesses like technician, your generator repairer, your car mechanic, right? They are service-based, but sometimes it's a combination of service and product. So they can sell you product. So for such businesses, they will have production costs. But the service-based business we're looking at is, let's say, a consultant, a social media manager, right? The people that run adverts. So those are the kind of service-based business we're looking at. So let's look at Tonya. Tonya is a social media manager. She manages people's social media for them. And so for the same month of December, she grossed 3.1 million naira. And she has overhead. What are her overhead? She pays for some platforms, her data, her small office space. Yes, she works from home, but she also has small office space. So she also makes call and pays for some kind of subscription based because of what she does. So she has a little bit pricey overhead. So these are overhead, and she has people that work with her. Right, when people give her their social media to manage, she also have sub managers that she pays certain amounts to. So for her, she has packages. She has 25,000 naira package, and she has the 55,000 naira package, and the third one is the 95,000 naira package, the one she runs advert with. And from her calculation, she believes that her profit after paying for the sub managers and her platform and everything, this is giving her about 6,000 naira. Sorry, 16,000 naira. That's what she has worked out, while this gives her roughly 30. And for the 95,000 naira package, she hasn't worked it out. So you see, it's not a must that your numbers must be complete before you check this out. It's an assessment to see how well you are doing. So for her result, this is where we are. She raked in, or she generated revenue of 3.1 million, and she spent 1,970,000 on overhead. and we have averaged her selling price, or rather her service charges, and her average profit. This is what we have. So to justify that she spent 1,970,000 naira on her overhead, she was required to generate sales of 5,396,086 naira. Now we're looking at signing up 92.5 clients, but it doesn't work like that. It could be her packages, her offering, right? So it's not particularly client. So you see, from here you will see that her service charges, what she charges her clients or clientele, is not um, much compared to what she's spending. That's what the result is just telling her. So that she brought in 3.1 and spent 1.9. To her, it might look like it's okay, but you see, her profit, her service charge and her profit margin is not robust enough, right? And it's still the same advice that we give to her. For her, she will also need to look into her pricing and all of that. So when we talk about profitability, it actually goes beyond I made sales. No, you look at your pricing, even the one that you think, oh, you are okay. When we look at your cost structure alone should tell what your profit margin should be. Right. So the objective, the same thing for a service-based business owner, the same thing for a retailer. The objective is to know that you need to outsell your expenses. If you don't, you'll not be profitable. Then how do we sell? We need to market for consistently for sales to begin to happen, right? And you should stop treating marketing as a luxury, as a side activity. For me, that is talking, marketing used to be very difficult for me. It used to be something that, oh, I struggle with it until it started becoming clear. Like what we are teaching today, right? Fabulous asked me, oh, coming to do this, but I also, because I'm still learning from her, I keep learning from her, I realize that I have to present the offers that I have in a way that will make customers or clients want to sign up with me. So that's what she is doing, and that's what we're doing. Now you could ask, where did marketing and money come together? When she talks about the 7 P's of marketing, there's pricing, right? And when we looked at it very well, if you x-ray it, you realize that pricing goes beyond how much you're selling your product. No, pricing will have to bring everything within your finances, your full cost structure, what it costs you to run your operations monthly, for instance, to be able to say this is your pricing. So that is where money and marketing meet, right? To conclude, look, there is no marketing without money, and there's no money without marketing. As much as we think that finance is very important, which it is, you need to bring in sales through marketing before we have anything to work on, right? So this is where money meets marketing. Over to you, Julian. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Coach Judith. Please go back to, I have some questions.
Okay.
And I believe others are I'm asking the same question. So I see selling price, I see profit, but you still have product 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a question and also a suggestion. If I'm into production, I will be wondering why all these are here. And most people don't have up to these 10 products. So I will suggest if we can reduce it so that we limit it to 3, and we can just say if you have more products, you need to add to this one. And I also know that this is a proprietary template. You don't give it out to people. So I think it would be good for people who are scared of numbers, including me. When we see this long, we'll be wondering, okay, where do I fall here? Oh, I don't have up to this number. So must it be here or it should be removed? That's my first question. I also have another recommendation to make.
Okay. It doesn't, when we talk about averaging, it doesn't work with, it works with what you give it. So if we remove it, for instance, we limit it to 3 and someone has 5 products, it won't work. So we just made it up to 10, but it's not a must you will fill up the 10. When we're working on average, it will only pick the number of products that you have are divided by the number of products you have imputed, right? So it won't pick, it doesn't need the 10 to give you an average. The same thing with the profit.
All right. Thank you for, I asked for myself and other people that will be wondering. Then the second one, I will suggest that we have the sheet for for product separate and the one for service separate, so that you don't need to erase. I will know that, so that a product-based business owner knows that, okay, her own is still there. It's
Okay.
just a means of comfort, yes, and the other
Thank
one
you very much.
is
I'll do.
there. Thank you very much for the objective and the outcome. I used to be on the table of people that think that everything you make, you have made a profit. So far, I just see the difference between 5 million and 1 million. Every other thing in my head used to be my profit till you taught me how to do this. And actually, that's where we started tinkering this, and we brought money into marketing ever before we even knew the 7 P's of marketing. And I want to believe that members of this class find this helpful and they can implement. So if you have to advise a business owner that is watching this, what will be your advice? What should they go and reflect on?
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, for most business owners, what we're struggling with is it's really not 100% money. It's a mix of money and marketing challenges, right? So my advice is, number one, look at what you're selling. For instance, I'm not blowing your trumpet, but you see, it was until you made me realize that I have a marketing issue. Not like I didn't know I had marketing issue. We need to be able to tell people what we are selling, right? We need to know who we are selling to. Until now, I would just create templates and don't know what to do with it. But when you started teaching me, I started realizing that I need to speak to specific people. And I went from just creating just any template to creating templates that will help them. That's what marketing, your marketing classes have helped me do. So I will advise small business owner, know exactly what you're giving to people, because if you are giving what anybody can get anywhere, your challenge will be higher, in the sense that customers will always look at how much you're selling that thing, because I can always get it elsewhere. So they keep bargaining and tearing down your pricing, right? And the second thing is, you look at your money. Please, when we talk about finances, most times we just look at keeping records. Then we look at what others are doing so that we can benchmark. No, when we talk about money, you see, what I've come to realize over these years working with clients is your finances has a front end and a back end. There are money you have spent before you said, this is my selling price for, or my service charge for both your product or your services. There's something called cost structure. You need to know, what does it cost you to run every given period, let's say every month, every day, or every week. That should determine the selling price. That should determine your profit. It should determine how you recover your money. But we mistakenly keep looking at what our competitors are doing and keep benchmarking our competitors. Look, whatever the financial professionals or business gurus say outside there, it doesn't matter how much you look at your competitor. You don't have the same cost structure. You don't have the same cost reality. Let me give you an example. We are both cookie bakers, and you walk from a shop that, or a space or a location where your rent, let's just use rent alone, is 1.2 million a year. And I am working from a space where my rent is 6.1 million, right? I have all these big KVA generators. You have, because of the way you have structured your business, you are actually sharing generator where you are, the space where you use. There's a big generator, but everybody contributes money to buy fuel. Meanwhile, I own my generator. Automatically, the rent and the generator matter alone. My cost reality and structure is higher than your own. You don't expect me to be selling at the same price that you're selling, because what it costs you to run on a monthly basis is lower than my own. With this alone, I want to let you know that you shouldn't copy anybody. You shouldn't benchmark anybody. You can use them as guide, but you can't benchmark them, because if I am spending close to 8 million in a month, or 3 million or 4 million, the person spending 1.2 million, we may be in the same business, but our realities are very different. So my simple advice here is, do not benchmark anybody. You should work to know your cost structure. And when we talk about money, please, it's not record keeping. A lot happens before you start keeping record. You spend money to buy raw materials, buy packaging, produce, pay salary, things are getting spoiled, you are having defective goods. You spend money to do all that before you come to even, this is how much I'm selling my product and this is the money that came in. So when we talk about money, don't start with keeping records. Start with from the beginning, when you start purchasing raw materials. Coach, I hope I answered your questions.
Yes, so you are saying they should go back and calculate and check all they spend money on, and maybe for the price reality check, assignment or pre-assignment is for them to check their last month's numbers and see if they made profit or not after watching this video, right?
Yes, thank you.
All right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Please watch this again and again and ask questions in the group. Don't forget, we have one day off to implement. We'll see you in the next class. Thank you very much, Coach Judith.
Thank you, Fabulous.